Welcome to the weekly watch list. Let's dive in to look at some of the assets we're keeping an eye on this week. So we're going to start with our three indices. So Hong Kong, South Africa, and Spain. Looking at Hong Kong, we're in a bullish trend. Things are looking quite nice at the moment. Now, just remember our bus stops. Our bus stops are either looking at the daily 10 and 20 action zone, or we're going to be looking at the 4-hour action zone. Now, the difference between the two, the daily gives us a lot more confidence where we can get in and hold it for a duration of like the week or maybe even longer to try and get to the weekly target. Whereas our 4-hour action zone is going to be based more on shorter term trades, shorter term setups, okay, where we're being a little bit more proactive, or you can maybe even hold it for a few days. So Hong Kong looks in a very good position. The way it's closed out on Friday, okay, setup respected the 10. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on Monday to potentially get into Hong Kong, depending how it opens up over the weekend. Providing it's still kind of above that 10 EMA, then I think it looks very good for me to be looking at taking action straight away. Next, we're looking at South Africa 40. Now, South Africa 40 has already kind of moved away from the daily 10 and 20. So if I want to be looking at getting in for the duration of the whole target, I might need to wait for it to pull back again to the 10 and 20, or I can pay attention to my 4-hour setups, where again, I'm just looking to see this pull back into my action zones like we've seen previously, where I can then look for a shorter term trade entry and I can kind of get in, get out, get in, get out. And that's the idea of the shorter term setups. Then we have Spain 35, again at the daily 10 and 20 right now. Now, we experienced quite a lot of volatility on Friday, so we do need to really see how things open up come Monday. But providing it stays where it is, I believe it's in a good action zone where we can look to take opportunities. And I'll be looking to hopefully get into a trade on Monday if it opens up where it is. Again, we need to see what happens after the volatility. But again, that's the weekly target. So very much daily setups, but again, can keep an eye on them 4-hour setups throughout the week. Then we have the pound CAD. So the pound's done very well recently. So one of the stronger currencies I'm keeping an eye on. And again, it's at the daily setup. Now, something you want to bear in mind, I don't want to really take currency pairs for a hold them for like a week or so. And the reason being is they're so volatile. Okay, they don't tend to trend as well. They tend to range a bit better. So I'll be looking for more shorter bursts. So this isn't something I'm looking to get into on Monday. I want to really see this go off a little bit. And then I'll be looking to see it pull back to the 4-hour action zones where I will then look to take trades. But there's no point looking at 4 action zones when it's at the daily because it's going to be messy, right? It needs to look good on a daily, i.e. needs to be going back in the right direction before we can consider looking at the 4-hour setups. And then last on the list, we have high grade copper. Now, high grade copper looks very good. We've seen it just kind of kick on again. 10 and 20 just about to cross over. So I'm probably looking either a pullback to the daily 10 and 20 to then take an opportunity. So best case, probably going to be Tuesday, or depending on how this opens up on Monday, we can keep an eye on the 4-hour setups, where again, we've just had a very tight crossover. There's some of the stronger crossovers you can pay attention to, where we're then letting this pull back down, and that's where our bust up will be. So this is what I'm going to be keeping an eye on for this week's watch list. Make sure you don't miss out, guys. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell.